Hello fellow Sudokans and welcome to Zen and the Art of the Guardian Sudoku puzzle for Monday the 27th of September 2021. I'm recovering from yesterday's Sudoku Sunday Fest where I played Sudoku all day long, stupidly. Well, not quite all day long, but I did a lot of videos yesterday and ran my voice into the ground. But I'm recovered again today, and those videos are up there. And if you are a beginner, because today is Monday Easy Day for the Guardian Sudoku puzzle, I hope that you will try out any easy puzzles that I put up yesterday. There were at least one, and actually you could also try the medium level ones too. Right, what's happening in the news? German elections have taken place. Looks like the Social Democrats are edging out the Christian Democrats, but probably not huge changes in policy. I mean, some, of course, but not huge changes, I suppose, not like you see in some countries where governments are very unstable. I'm much in favour of Germany as a country, as a modern nation. I think I'm very disparaged by Britain's attitude to Germany. Do you know, all of these years after, I mean, my mum and my grandmother and my father, in fact, was in the war, World War II, and, they had horrible memories and stuff like that of being bombed and everything. But I was born after World War II, and so were most people who are alive today, of course. And so we have to look at what has happened since the war, not what happened during the war. But, British comedians, they still tell jokes about Germany as though, like that's it. For their entire knowledge of Germany is that, they lost the war and they were Nazis, they had Nazis during the war. Actually, Germany has been a much more democratic country than Britain probably since the war. I mean, the loss did them a lot of good. And it's very unfortunate that, I mean, that's kind of, I think, the reason why Brexit happened is Britain's antipathy to foreigners and Europeans, and particularly, people who don't speak English have this thing. But there's still this element of, oh, let's poke fun at the Germans. We beat the Germans in the World Cup in 1966 and in World War II. And it drives me insane. I hate to see it. I hate comedians that make those kind of jokes, especially when those comedians are very progressive in other ways and, wouldn't dare make what they might consider racist jokes or something like that. Still willing to make jokes against Germans. I find that most distressing and disparaging, even though I understand for older people who were involved in the war, such as my parents are gone now, but I mean, I did understand how terrible it was for them, and we must never forget that. But we also have to move on and realize that the Germans who are alive now are not the ones who are responsible for that. Okay, let's get on with today's game of Sudoku. How do we play it? Well, we have squares going across here, we have squares coming down here, and we fit numbers 1 to 9 in. And we also have these boxes that are outlined in dark black ink, let's say, and we call these blocks. And we also fit numbers 1 to 9 in there. So the idea of the game is that it has to be a unique solution. So if we look at this, let's take this example of this block down here. Now we don't have many numbers placed. In fact, we've only got a 1 and a 2 so far. That means we have to put 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 into these blocks. Now we don't just guess into these boxes. We don't just guess. We have to find out the answer logically. Squeaking brakes. So how do we go about it? Well, I can see something, and if you look around at the numbers surrounding this block, you'll see something too, especially when you look at numbers 8. Now remember, a number can only appear one time in its row or its column or its block. Now we don't have an 8 here. Can we put an 8 in either of these two squares? Answer, no, because we have an 8 up here. Can we put an 8 in either of these two squares? Answer no, because there's an 8 up here. So there's a kind of blocking effect down here. No 8's allowed up here, down here I should say, and no 8's allowed down here. Then if we look across here, we can see an 8 in this row, and this has the same blocking effect across here. And there's an 8 here, which also has the same blocking effect here. So it's like it's blocked, 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 and blocked. So there's only this square here, which isn't blocked by an 8 and intersecting 8 anywhere. So we know that that has to be an 8, and that's the first number that we can fill in. And this is how we go about finding our numbers. Let's do something similar with ones. We can see this 1 blocking across here. So no 1 in this square or this square. This 1 blocking across here, no 1 here or here. And this 1 blocking down, meaning blocked from this square here. So blocked, blocked, and blocked. 1 has to fit there. Okay. 4 blocking across here like this, 4 blocking across here like this, and 4 goes in here. Now, if this is the first time you're playing Sudoku, you really need to try the game for yourself. Now, in the description of this video, there is a link to the original Guardian Sudoku puzzle. Now, you have to print it out to play it, or you could fill it into some online Sudoku solver or something like that. But you need to try it for yourself, not just watch the video, but watch the video to learn how to play the game first. We have 1 blocking across here, 1 blocking across here, 1 blocking up here, and 1 blocking up here. So that's going to give us a 1 in that square there. It's very noisy here today, lots of motorbikes driving past. I don't have a soundproof room. Okay, there is an 8 blocking up here and an 8 blocking up here, right? This 8 blocks all the way up there, this 8 up there. Blocked and blocked. Then there's an 8 blocking across here, so we know that 8 has to fit there. Now this 8 that we just filled in, we'll say now blocks across this row. This 8 blocks this row, this 8 blocks this column, so there's just 1 more square to get an 8, and it goes there. Now, I'm going to show you something that will show that it's not always just a simple move. We can sometimes think ahead a little bit. Okay, so let's show you something slightly more advanced, but not terribly more advanced. But think about this. We have a 5 blocking here, and we have a 5 blocking here, right? 5 blocking, 5 blocking. And now we've got 2 squares. Any help there? No. So can we tell which square it goes in? No, we can't, but we know that it's in one of these two. 5 is either here or here. Can't be here, can't be here, must be here or here. So you say, well, what use is that? We can't place it, and that's true, we can't. But if the 5 appears here, it will block down this column. And if the 5 appears here, it will still block down this column too. So whether it appears here or here is immaterial, because it must block down here. Okay, so we've got a 5 blocking down here. Now we've got this 5 blocking down here. Right? So block down here and block down here. There's only 1 square left. So we know that the 5 has to go there. 2 blocking down here, 2 blocking across there. That's got to be a 2. 2 blocking across this row, 2 blocking across this row, 1 empty square here. 2 goes there. Seven blocking up this column, 7 blocking across this row, so blocked and blocked. 1 square left for 7. It's got to go there. And now, because we've put a 7 here, do you remember I said 5 was in one of these 2 squares? Do you remember that? I said 5 is in one of this square or this square because it blocks down here. Well, now we've filled in one of those squares. And so you can see 5 blocks here, 5 blocks here. So this is the place where 5 has to go there. Now, we can start thinking about some tactics, because if you look at this block here, right, and you say, well, there are 2 numbers missing from this column. Can we place them for sure? Answer, no, because they could be, whatever numbers they are, they could be this square or this square or this square or this square, right? So it's 2 ways around. But we know that there are only 2 numbers left to get. And once we've got those 2, once we know what the 2 numbers are, there will only be 1 empty square in this block. So we can get this number. We are not sure if we can get these 2 numbers, but we know for sure that we can get this number. So that's what we will do. We will aim to get this number by finding what's missing here. So we count through 1, 2, there's no 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and there's no 9. So we know that these 2 numbers have to be 3 and 9. Now, are there any intersecting 3s and 9s? No, but we know that these are 3 and 9 here. So, bearing that in mind, 1, 2, 3. Any 4? No. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So this is a 4 here. Now, you could have just said 4 blocks down here, so it has to go here. That's an easier way of doing it, I guess. But you'll notice that the answer is the same. And anyway, this is the right way, this is the right technique. This is a kind of a plan, okay, which is what we need to think about. Now, this 4 blocks this square here, so there's only 1 empty square. That's 4's got to go there, and 9 is the last number that we need for that particular block. Now we can count down and find the missing number for this column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do we have a 7? No, we don't. So we know that 7 is our missing number. Now if you want to count on 8 and 9 to make sure that you haven't made any mistakes, that's a good idea. Not only as a beginner, but sometimes as a higher level player as well. Sometimes it's good to just check that you haven't made any mistakes, because believe me, anyone can make mistakes in Sudoku. Even the professionals, even the best players can make mistakes. Professionals? I don't know if there are any professionals, but anyway, if there are, I'm sure they make mistakes. 9 blocking up here, 9 blocking across here, 9 blocking across here. 9 has to fit in that square there. Now, do we have a 9 in this row? Answer, no. 1, 2, no 3, 4, no 5, 6, 7, 8, no 9. But look, this 9 blocks here, and this 9 blocks here. So if 9 can't go here or here, there's only 1 other empty square where it can go. So we know 9 goes there. 1 missing number in this block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Right, what comes next? Now, by the way, I never play these games before starting the camera. If you're new to the channel, you should know. If you see some of my other games, they can be quite long because I don't practice them or rehearse in advance or anything. I have no idea when starting what it's going to be like. This 9 stops this square here. This 9 stops this square here. So 9 has got to fit here. This 1 blocks this from being a 1, so 1 has to go there. And the missing number here is 6. Okay, we see 1 blocking across here, 1 blocking across here, 1 blocking up here. Blocked, blocked, and blocked. So 1 is in the square here. 2 blocks up here, 2 blocks across here, so that's got to be a 2 in that square there. Now this 2 blocks all the way down this column here, and this 2 blocks across this row, so 2 has got to be placed in that square there. We have 2 missing numbers in this row, 1, 2, 3, 4, there's no 5, 6, there's no 7, 8, 9. So 5 and 7 are the missing numbers and have to go in these 2 squares, these 2 empty squares. Now this 7 blocks anything in this particular segment here from reappearing as a 7. So 7 cannot be in this square. That means 7 has to be in this square. 5 has to be in this square. It's the only possibility. Now let's do something similar to what we did up here. There are 3 missing numbers here. Can we say exactly which order they go in? No. But do we know what they are? Yes. There has to be 3 particular numbers, and then there is 1 more missing square. So we are sure to get this number here. We are not sure that we can get these, but we are sure that we can get these, and this is the next target. So we say, what's missing here? We've got 1. Any 2? No. Any 3? No. And the other missing number is 6. So the 3 missing numbers here are 2, 3, and 6. We've got a blocking 2, but that's all. So we don't know which is which. But we do know 2, 3, and 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Any 5? No. So we know that 5 is here because 6 is one of these numbers, 7, 8, 9. Okay. One tip I should give beginner level players is shift your eyes around and look somewhere else. If you've been looking in a place for some time and not finding any success, not finding any numbers, you need to move. You need to look elsewhere in the grid. And very often you say, oh, look at this section, it's almost finished. And you keep looking at the numbers and you look around and you're looking for intersecting numbers and you don't find any. Then it's time to look somewhere else and say, well, forget that. Just completely forget that and look somewhere else. Let's look up here or down here or something like that. Maybe let's check this column here, for example. Let's see what's missing. We've got 1, 2. We don't have 3. We don't have 6, and we don't have 7. 3, 6, and 7. Okay, so what's going on here? Well, the 6 stops here, but could appear here or here. The 3 stops this square, and the 7 stops this square as well. So we've got 3 and 7. Remember, 3, 6, and 7 are the missing numbers. We've got 3 and 7 blocking the same square. So we know for sure this has to be a 6. And that's probably enough to finish the game, because now we know that that's 6 blocks across here like this. This 6 blocks across the top, so that gives us a 6 there. And I have a feeling that's probably what we need to finish the game. Could be wrong, mind you, but just I suspect that's all. So missing numbers along this top row are 3 and 7. 1, 2, there's no 3. 4, 5, 6, there's no 7. 8, 9. Now 7 says, this 7 says you can't go there. 7's got to be placed here, and therefore the 3 must go in that square there. There are 3 missing numbers here now. They are 2, 4, and 5. We have 1, we don't have 2. 3, we don't have 4 or 5. 6, 7, 8, 9. So 2, 4, and 5. But look, 4 and 5 are both in this column. So this can't be 4, can't be 5. It has to be a 2. Now we'll bring that 2 down and say 2 blocks this square here and 2 blocks this square here, and 2 is one of our missing numbers here, therefore it's got to go there. This 6 stops this from being a 6, so 6 goes here, and the last number that we need for that block is a 3. Okay. Missing numbers along this row here are 3 and 5. 1, 2, we don't have a 3, 4, there's no 5. 6, 7, 8, 9. 3 and 5, 3 and 5. But look, here's a 3 to say this square is blocked from being a 3. So the 3 goes there, and the 5 goes there. This 5 stops this from being a 5. So the 5 we must place there. 4 is the last number to get there. There's one more number to get in this column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't have a 6 yet, so we've got to put the 6 there. One number missing down here. 1, 2, 3. There's no 4, so we know that that's got to be a 4. Missing numbers here are 7 and 9, but we still can't tell which is which just yet. So even if you see just this kind of thing, sometimes you say, really? Yeah, okay, it just means you have to look somewhere else. Now, there's only one number missing here, so let's get this. 1, 2. Is there a 3 anywhere in this column? Answer, no. So we'll put it in. If you want to check, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, everything is still okay. Right, so what's left to do? The missing numbers in this row here are 7 and 9, I think. Okay, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We don't have 7. We have an 8. We don't have 9. So 7 and 9. But this 7 stops this from being a 7. So the 7 goes here. The 9 goes here. 9 is in fact our last number for this block here. Almost finished now. You just see a couple of squares missing. So you just have to go through and see which numbers are missing and see which one has an intersecting number. At least one of these will have an intersecting number. Should we start at the top? Missing numbers here are 3 and 4. We've got 1, 2, there's no 3 or 4, but look, here's an intersecting 4. So the 4 goes there, the 3 goes there. This 3 says that this can't be a 3, but we don't have a 3 yet here. So the 3 goes there. 6 is the last number to get here. 6 blocks down here, so the 6 goes there. The last number to get is 7, and we have finished our grid. Now, if you are a beginner, you need to check and make sure that you haven't put any double numbers anywhere, and this can happen. I mean, it can even happen to really good players. As I mentioned, anyone can make a mistake in Sudoku. So when you finish your game, if you're playing on pen and paper like this, you need to check it yourself. If you're playing on the computer, nearly all computer software will check it for you and tell you if you've made a mistake. Okay, so that's it. Thank you for joining me for today's Guardian easy level, beginner level, easy level Sudoku puzzle, and hope to see you for more Sudoku. Subscribe to the channel and check on the easy list, a list of easy Sudokus if you want to, if you're just starting. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.